Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. We've made it to hump day. Yay. So I'm Claire Jones. If we haven't already met, I am author and small publisher committed to changing the world for the better through inclusive stories and practices. And I am jumping on today to continue my self-published author series where I go over how to write, publish, and start selling your book in a year. So if you're joining me, please like, comment, share below. Let us know that you're here. And today we're going to continue with building community, a very important part of becoming an author and selling your book. And this is to make sure that we can start gathering our audiences closer to us and inviting them into more personalized conversations to build that long-lasting relationship with them, because that's where business relationships and brand relationships and customer relationships, they're key, as we talked about when we talked about marketing channels in previous episodes. So let's talk about how to actually do that, because that's important. So if you're interested in the full rundown of what I'm discussing today, check out my self-published author 52-week planner, and all of the details are at linktr.ee/clairjoyance. I go in so much depth in this planner. Like, I cannot fit all of it into 5 to 10 minute videos, so go check it out. So in order to be a successful author, you need to find, develop, and nurture your community of raving fans and supporters, because I know they're going to love you because you're awesome already. I'm sure of it. So intentionally assembling a team of cheerleaders that want to support you is a tried and true way to jumpstart your launches. Whether you are launching a business or a book, there is tremendous power in collective action, and it is key to tap into that. So you never want to launch to an empty room of crickets, hoping and praying that your messages, your products, your services reach into the void and somehow land in the hands of willing buyers. But you can easily avoid this by strategically building a community of loyal advocates ahead of time before publishing, so that when you do launch your publish, it is to a room full of cheerleaders. I don't know how many stories I hear about authors who decided to go the self-publishing route, publish their books, hit the button on the day of publishing, and then heard nothing because they didn't develop any type of community to support them in this process. So that's what I'm talking about here. The method for achieving this community will always be the same: genuine conversations. Genuine conversations. It's much more easier than you can even imagine. And there are 3 specific vehicles that I want to discuss here for genuine conversations. Number 1 is social media DMs. Number 2 is networking. And number 3 is your email list. Very important as an author. So let's start with social media DMs. We already talked about social media content earlier in this series, but I also want to encourage you to reach out to your followers via DM, which is direct messaging. So whether you are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Pinterest, or Twitter, it is possible to initiate conversations with those who interact with your posts. So Facebook and LinkedIn are likely going to be the messaging platforms with which you're most familiar. It is very common for users to utilize those DM features on those platforms, so it can be considered a cultural norm for those apps. This is very common. And so for this reason, I recommend sending a DM to each person that friends you on Facebook or connects with you on LinkedIn. A simple introductory message will do, something along the lines of, "Thanks for following me. Let me know if you want to connect further." Leave it open-ended. If they answer, they answer. If they don't, they don't. Don't take it personally. You're just initiating a genuine conversation in case they are interested in having a genuine conversation with you. Some people are, some people aren't. And so you just open that door for them in case they want to walk through it. Number 2, for networking, this is something that tends to be a foreign concept to those outside of the business ownership landscape. And I want to encourage you to broaden your understanding of what networking actually means. As an author, you're probably not used to being told that you should network, but this is very important for building community. Networking, by definition, is the action or process of interacting with others to exchange information and develop professional or social contacts. Very simple, very broad. So this can literally happen anywhere. Networking can happen anywhere there are people gathering. So professional events, workshops, in line at the grocery store, sporting events, meetups, conventions, Facebook groups, Clubhouse rooms, if people still use Clubhouse. I don't know if people still use Clubhouse. Comment. I don't know if people do. Parties, receptions, festivals, book clubs, funerals, weddings, baby showers, you name it. Networking can happen at any of these situations. You can network anywhere that people with similar interests convene, whether in person or online. These are wonderful opportunities to interact with those that could potentially align with your passions, values, dreams, challenges, and goals. If you are at the same event as someone else, there is a higher likelihood that you will have some sort of shared common ground than if you just grabbed a stranger off of the street. If you just grabbed a stranger off of your social media feeds, you are more likely to have something in common with them, which is a jump-in off point for a genuine conversation. So invite them in to a genuine conversation if they are so inclined. So email list is number 3. And this is where the first 2 vehicles lead you. So this is leading directly into the 3rd, email lists. Once you have all of these wonderful conversations in your social media DMs and your networking events, whether they're business networking or social networking, you want to follow up with them and offer them a way to stay up to date with what you're creating if they want to stay up to date with what you're creating. So I'm sure you've heard about the importance of email lists, especially as an author, and it is a marketing channel that can be even more valuable for you than social media, and this is because of 2 reasons. Number 1, you have control over your list, not a third-party algorithm, not a third-party corporation. You have control over your list. It's yours and you have it. Number 2, the folks on your list consciously and consensually opted into receiving more information from you. Do not add people to your email list without asking them. I got into so much trouble for this when I first started my entrepreneurship journey like 10 years ago. I just added people to my list without asking them, and I got a lot of mad replies for that. So spam laws are very important, and you need to ask first before adding people to your list. I unsubscribe all the time from newsletters that people add me to without asking. So make sure that there's a consensual process for the opt-in process for that. So that's it for today. Social media DMs, networking, email lists. If you're interested in learning more, because there is a lot more in my self-published author 52-week planner, check out all the details at linktr.ee/clairjoyance. Next time, I'll be jumping on to talk about your fourth writing week to make sure that we can prioritize the completion of our first drafts, because we need to actually write the book in order to publish and sell it. So in the meantime, please remember that you all have extraordinary stories inside of you, and I'm rooting for you as you use them to change the world for the better. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you on Friday.